Hey guys, want to show your support to the channel and get some awesome rewards at the same time? Then go check out my Patreon page where at whatever tier you choose that fits your budget, you'll get plenty of rewards such as updates and announcements on the regular, exclusive sneak peeks of my videos before they go up online, get yourself credited, and receive a special shout out at the end of my videos and more. Go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack427's to start pledging today. And don't forget to also check out and consider gifting me any items I have listed on my Amazon wishlist and even supporting me on my Streamlabs tipping page that'll also help support the channel directly. Links are in the description box below as well as on my link tree for you to check out. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Take care. Hey guys, like what we do on our channel and want to see more videos from us? Then not to worry about a thing. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as turning on the notification bell so that way you can see more of our videos coming up very soon. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Hey folks, I'm officially going to be going to Kinshoku-Con, taking place at the Doubletree by Hilton up in Niagara Falls, New York from November 14th through the 16th. I'm going to be there for the weekend and I'll not only be cosplaying as Tamaki from Orang High School Host Club on Friday, my ballerina version of Ruby Rose from Ruby on Saturday, and Ash Ketchum in his Kalos outfit from Pokemon for a little bit on Sunday, but I'm also going to be hosting my brand new panel, How to Become a YouTuber, on Friday, November 14th at 8 p.m. at the Con's Panel Room. More information can be found at kinshokukon.com as well as on their social media platforms. So if you see me there all weekend, then by all means, come on up to me and say hi. Hope to see you there. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here with a brand new thoughts video for all of you guys, and whew, wow. Yeah, I guess pretty much of anything, what can I say about what I've actually been through, pretty much, for of course, today, right around after my birthday, for sure, so yeah, I guess it is quite obviously that my birthday has officially come and gone, and yeah, I guess it is kind of weird and yet quite surprising that, I'm now officially 30 years old as of now. Yeah, I know I'm actually getting old, but hey, it's part of life as expected, so yeah, but don't worry about a thing. For a while, I still have plenty of stuff revolving around my birthday that'll be coming up pretty soon for sure. I figure that pretty much, if anything, pretty much since after what I've actually been through, I gotta figure out we actually spend today for sure by the time I'm recording this to actually go back to pretty much a back to basics on, of course, my part, and that being, of course, well, seeing a new movie that just came out, so yeah, that's what I kind of figure I would do for sure, and I know that's saying a whole lot, given to, of course, last weekend, having a really great time catching the sing-along screen of K-pop Demon Hunters that I attended to not too long ago, which was sweet for sure, so yeah. So yeah, I guess pretty much since after that, looks like it's back to basics with, of course, pretty much some new releases on the big screen for sure, and yeah, and I guess for the sake of this movie we're going to be talking about here today, looks like we've actually got ourselves a pretty great one for us to talk about for sure, so yeah. And I guess, surprisingly enough, I know it's been a while since we've actually talked about pretty much a movie released by the studio for sure. So I figured maybe now is a good time to actually finally pretty much talk about this one for sure. So yeah. And I guess surprisingly enough, for of course that case alone, I think we might as well return to, of course, Disney pretty much for sure, but not just anything from Disney, but I guess a little something in their 20th Century Studios label for sure. So yeah, I guess it is quite fitting when you really think about it for sure. And yeah, I guess it is no big surprise. Pretty much ever since the start of this decade, I did talk about a good chunk of movies released by 20th Century Studios for sure. And I know a lot of you guys are still rather upset that pretty much you missed the good old days when it was originally called 20th Century Fox. But I mean, hey, we still gotta take it for what it is, seeing of how Disney did buy them out years ago for sure. So that's one thing we need to bear in mind. So yeah, and surprisingly enough, one of Fox's own properties that they've held on to for years that are now in the hands of Disney for sure, have actually landed themselves a really great installment that they just put out not too long ago. So yeah, first they actually did well with, of course, Avatar for sure, with surprisingly enough, the next one that's slated to come out next month, Fire and Ash, which I'm actually looking forward to. Then it looks like we do know last year they've delved into both, pretty much both Planet of the Apes and Alien, with of course their latest movies, which, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, they both turned out really good films for sure. And now we actually have this pretty much a well-known movie series that Fox, that 20th Century Fox did make originally, that of course are in good hands with Disney for sure. So yeah, and I guess the best way I can actually describe it is, well, to quote Arnold Schwarzenegger for sure, I guess in order to get to this movie we're going to be talking about, we need to, of course, need to, well, get to the chopper! So yeah, I think you can kind of get the idea of course, what I'm referencing given to that line alone. But in case a lot of you guys didn't get what I'm actually saying for sure, I think it's time to do exactly that with the latest movie that I just saw not too long ago, which is none other than Predator Badlands. So yeah, that is of course what we're going to be talking about here today. Not only is this the latest film that just came out not too long ago, but it's also the latest installment in, of course, one of the most well-known sci-fi action, one of the most well-known movies that 20th Century Fox originally did make for sure, and that being, of course, well, Predator. So yeah. It's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alrighty then, well, this is gonna be a really interesting one to talk about. I mean, yeah, first Planet of the Apes, then Avatar, then Alien, and now Predator is now into the mix for sure. I mean, what's next? Pretty much another Day the Earth Stood Still? Or another Independence Day? Actually, don't make that last one. I don't think it's gonna turn out well, so yeah, but you kind of get the idea for sure. So yeah, now before I can go ahead and talk about this latest movie, I think it's quite fitting that I should brush myself up on, of course, pretty much on the other films for sure. And, well, what can I say about Predator that a lot of people haven't already for sure. So yeah, I guess pretty much of anything, Predator is, of course, despite actually not having much movies currently for sure, it's still one of the most recognizable that we all know for the past few decades for sure, and has grown a lot of popularity over the years for many movie fans and sci-fi fans for sure, similar to how Alien actually did that for sure. So yeah. And I guess pretty much of anything, the original Predator, I definitely do think is actually a really solid flick, in my opinion, for sure. With not only a really engaging story, some really great action, and of course some brilliant acting. It's especially from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that Predator is indeed one of the most recognizable when it comes to some well-known sci-fi movies for the past several years for sure. So yeah, at least that's what I can say, of course, that front. Well, of course, for the sequels that did follow afterwards for sure, and I'm not counting the Alien vs. Predator movies because that's mainly its own thing for sure. Yeah, pretty much, if anything, Predator 2 alongside pretty much two other ones that we got in the past decade, Predators and The Predator, yeah, they actually can range from mid at best to just kind of forgettable, to say the least, for sure. So yeah, but at least it's all what I can say, in my opinion, in regards to those movies, for sure. But thankfully, pretty much, it did shift later on down the road with, of course, a few years ago, pretty much with, of course, the Hulu exclusive Predator movie we got entitled Prey, and yeah, surprisingly enough, I actually really do enjoy pretty much that Sega movie for sure. I definitely think it is definitely on par with, of course, the original Predator movie for what it is. So yeah, and all that sort of stuff, hands down. So yeah, if you haven't seen Prey yet, do so. It's actually well worth it. And sadly, I never actually saw the other Predator movie that came out a few months ago entitled Predator Killer of Killers, but I did hear good things about it for sure, so maybe that's something I might look into later on down the road for sure. So yeah, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, I guess for the time being, it's pretty much what I can say for all the Predator movies, in my opinion, for sure. So yeah. So I guess I give it to that thought alone, where I actually saw pretty much saw what I was getting into with, of course, this newest one. I actually got myself excited to see on what they're gonna go with, of course, this new one for sure, and surprisingly enough, getting the team and the director from, of course, the last two Predator movies that we actually got, I think it looks like they might be in good hands for sure. So luckily enough, as a nice little after-birthday treat for myself, me and my dad actually head on over to officially go and see this movie, to which, surprisingly enough, he did get the day off from work earlier today, which is actually quite sweet. So yeah, me and my dad actually decided to go and see this movie, and we did exactly that, all thanks to everyone at Crown City Cinemas, as usual, for giving us that opportunity for sure. So yeah, and of course, now that we've got back from, of course, seeing it earlier today, I guess a lot of you guys may be wondering, what do I think of this movie now that I finally got the chance to see it? Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, pretty much of anything, yeah, I guess the third time was definitely the charm for, of course, the people making these recent Predator movies for sure, because to me, yeah, surprisingly enough, I had a really great time seeing this one for sure. So yeah, I guess there's no doubt in my mind that I actually really enjoyed this movie for what it is. I think it really did yeah, it really did an impressive job, and of course, capturing the love and spirit of course, the other films that came beforehand, for sure, but also mixing in with something new and inventive that I can easily follow through quite well, for sure, and yeah, that alone makes it a really great time, and yeah, it actually did result in a pretty solid movie, in my opinion. So yeah, at least that's what I can say, of course, that front. But yeah, I guess there's no doubt in my mind that I really enjoyed this movie for what it is. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright then, well. So yeah, now that I've officially got the short version out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about everything that I need to talk about for sure. For starters is, of course, the story, and yeah, I think with what I've actually seen, I really do like what they did with the story in, of course, this movie. I really do think it is very engaging, in my opinion, and I really do love what it has to offer to try to do something new and inventive for sure that I can easily get behind all the way. And yeah, I really do think they really did a solid job, in my opinion, to really pretty much make it all the more engaging for sure. And part of that may be would come from the fact that that unlike the last several films, where of course the Predator is of course the main threat for sure. Yeah, this one actually wanted to explore, this movie wanted to explore what it's like from the Predator's point of view, and actually try to humanize the creature that we know in these movies for sure. And yeah, I really do think they did a very solid job, in my opinion, in accomplishing that for sure. And yeah. We don't normally see pretty much some creatures or monsters or, of course, anyone else in pretty much, of course, a horror flick or, of course, pretty much any other flick that involves a villain, or a main threat for sure. Actually humanize where we could actually sympathize with for sure. I mean, yeah, there are several for sure, but sometimes they would do it well, other times not so much for sure. And I know this movie actually did that very well, in my opinion, amongst a few others that I did actually talk about for sure. So yeah, either way, I really do think the story in this movie is actually very well engaging, and I really do like what it has to offer to really try to make it work for sure, and they did it very well, in my opinion. So yeah, and not to mention the writing, I have to say, I really do think is actually very well crafted, in my opinion, and I really do think they really have a lot going for it to really make this material excuse me, to really make this material work quite well, and yeah, they did accomplish that very well, in my opinion, and I really do think they really have a lot going for with, of course, this one, and I'm impressed with, of course, what I'm actually seeing by far. I think they really were spot on, of course, this one for sure. So yeah. I think it's what I can say for, of course, both the story and the writing for, of course, this movie for sure. They really had a lot going for to make this one stand out, and I'm impressed with, of course, what I've actually seen in the final product for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. All right. Alrighty then, well, now that I've officially got those two out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about the next couple of things that I need to talk about for sure, to which next up is, of course, the characters, and yeah, I guess pretty much of anything, I really do like what they have to throw in for, of course, the characters for sure. I really do think each and every single one of them has actually been given some really great development, in my opinion, and they really executed quite well for sure to really make them likable and interesting for sure. So yeah. And plus, I really do love the really nice arcs each and every single one of them goes through throughout the course of this movie. And yeah, I think they really did an impressive job from what I've actually seen. That I really do think this movie actually knows how to follow through just fine from what I can gather. So yeah. Pretty much, if anything, I really do think they did a very impressive job with the characters for sure, and yeah, I think they are really, they really are rock solid all the way with what they have to offer, and yeah, I really do have a very strong connection with each and every single one of them for sure. So yeah, that's at least what I can say, of course, that front. Now, as for the actors that came on board to play all these characters, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. I really do think they got some really good actors to play all these characters, and I really do think they gave off such really great performances, in my opinion, for sure. Yeah, pretty much every single one of their performances, in my opinion, I really do think is actually quite nice for sure, and yeah, even though I think pretty much in some parts where, of course, we actually do get to see some development from, of course, each and every single character for sure, is actually very nicely done, and yeah, the actors really did an impressive job on that. I guess other times they didn't rely on 8 bits of dialogue, pretty much a good chunk of scenes for sure, almost treating it as like a nice little silent flick for sure, and I guess pretty much the bits of acting that we actually do get is pretty much from the emotions and, of course, the facial expressions from, of course, the characters that I really do think mixing quite well, in my opinion, that I really do think is actually very nicely done for sure. So yeah, that's at least what I can say, of course, that front for sure. But yeah, there's no doubt in my mind is that I really do love what they did with the acting in, of course, this movie. I think they really did an impressive job all the way that I really do think is actually very admirable to me, and I really do think is actually quite nice for sure. So yeah, that's at least what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, I really do love on how likable and interesting the characters are. And yeah, all the actors that came on board to play all these characters, they actually did pull off some really great performances that I really do think is actually very nicely done. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alrighty then, well, now that I've officially got those two out of the way, what else is there for me to talk about? Well, quite a whole lot, actually. So yeah, I guess for starters, the production design that they pulled off, and of course, this movie for sure, yeah, I really do think they really did a bang-up job with, of course, the production design for, of course, this movie from what I can gather. Literally from what I've actually seen from the really great set pieces they put together to the nice locations they scouted out for sure. Just to name me a few, I really do think they really have a whole lot going for to really make this movie look good for sure. And yeah, I really do think they really did an impressive job from what I can gather with the production design from what I've actually seen for sure. So yeah, that is, of course, what I can say, of course, that front. And not to mention the tonguing atmosphere, I will have to say, I will admit, I guess part of me is a little hesitant on the idea that pretty much on the idea that they wanted to go for a more PG-13 route with, of course, this movie, seeing of how the last several that we actually got were rated R for sure. Yeah, so yeah, I was a little hesitant on how they'll do it, pretty much pull it off in a PG-13 way, but I guess pretty much of anything, I really do like what they did when I actually got to see for sure. I mean, yeah, I guess there's very little blood and gore from what I can gather for sure to really help, yeah, to really keep that PG-13 rating for sure. So, of course, they had to condense it down a bit for sure, but I guess if anything, I still think it works quite well from what I can gather. And yeah, I will admit it could have been a little bit better than what I was hoping for, hands down for sure. But I still think they really did pull it off quite well. That I really do think is actually very nicely done. So yeah, despite a few issues here and there, I really do think the tonguing atmosphere in this movie is actually nicely done from what I can gather. So yeah, and of course, the action, I will have to say, as another aspect, yeah, I will have to say I really love what they did with the action. Of course, this one for sure. Everything from what I've actually seen by far, I think they really did a bang-up job from what I can gather for sure to really make this one stand out for sure. And yeah, with every single fight scene and every single action scene that comes up for sure, I really got myself invested from what I can gather for sure. And yeah, they really pulled it off quite well from what I can gather. And it is actually very admirable to me. So yeah, and not to mention the visuals and the effects, I will have to say, yeah, they really did a spot-on job with, of course, that aspect alone for sure. I really do think it is actually really nicely done, in my opinion, and I really do think they really have a lot going for to make them look great, and they did accomplish that quite well for sure. And not to mention the world building of course, the whole planet this entire movie takes place in for sure. I really do think is actually very nicely done to me, and I really do think they did a bang-up job to really make this one stand out for sure. And I really do admire what they actually did for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say for those aspects, in my opinion, for sure. And of course, the direction in this film from the film's director, to which, yeah, surprisingly enough, pretty much the guy who actually did the last couple of Predator movies came back, and yeah, I will have to say the film's director really has a lot going for hands down, and actually provided some really great direction to really make this movie work, hands down for sure. And I can tell there's a whole lot of pretty much a strong amount of hard-working effort to really make this one stand out for sure. And yeah, I think the film's director really did a nice job, and of course doing exactly that for sure. So yeah, and of course the cinematography, I will have to say, that too is also very nicely done for sure, with some really great camera shots that they actually pulled off for sure, that I really do think is actually very nicely done, in my opinion, hands down. I really do love for the fact on how well shot this movie is for sure. And not to mention, I really do love on how cut up it is through some really great editing that they actually did, hands down, that I really do think is actually very nicely done for sure. So yeah, and that mixing with, of course, the film's pacing, which actually matches very well, really does help keep with the flow with, of course, this movie, hands down. And I really do like what they did with the pacing, of course, this one for sure, that I really do think is actually flowed down quite well for sure. So yeah, that's at least what I can say, of course, that front for sure. So yeah, I think with all those aspects alone, I think it will definitely pretty much, I think it definitely does show how much I really enjoyed this movie, hands down. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright, so I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie as a whole. So yeah, overall, Predator Badlands is in fact a very impressive and yet very solid movie that I really do think is actually well worth the watch for sure. Not only bringing in something new and inventive from what I can gather, but also really does keep the love and spirit of the of course, the other Predator movies that came out beforehand for sure. So yeah, I really do think they really did a spot-on job to really make this one stand out for sure. And the way they actually carried through, of course, everything being thrown into it for sure, actually does make it a really great time, hands down for sure. So yeah, pretty much, if anything, I really do love what they actually did with, of course, this one. And yeah, I think, if anything, I think they did deliver on a really great movie that I really do think is actually nicely done. So, so yeah. And I guess pretty much of anything, I can definitely rank this pretty much alongside Prey as, of course, pretty much being a really solid flick for sure that I really do think is almost on par as, of course, the original Predator for sure. So yeah. Pretty much, if anything, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, I guess, pretty much at the end of the day, I really enjoyed this movie for what it is, and yeah, I really do think it's well worth checking out for sure. So yeah, you're definitely gonna get a whole lot with, of course, this one. If you're in the mood for one action-packed adventure for sure, and yeah, pretty much of anything, Predator Badlands is indeed an action-packed adventure you do not want to miss, hands down. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, pretty much, pretty much of anything, I really enjoyed this movie for what it is, and I really do think it's well worth checking out. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, for my final score, yeah, I really do think this movie definitely deserved it, hands down. So I'm gonna give Predator Badlands a very impressive 8.5 out of 10 as my final score. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one for what it is, and yeah, it is well worth the recommendation, of course, my part, hands down. So yeah, and if that's something you're actually looking into from what I can gather, I say this movie is definitely well worth checking out for sure. So yeah, that's at least what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, not much else to it. So yeah, what else can I say except, well, you better get to the chopper to actually see this new Predator movie for yourself, and I guess that's it. Nothing much else. So yeah, I could have done a whole lot more to it, but hey, it is what it is, if you know what I mean. Alright then, well, so yeah, I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie as a whole. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and well, I guess as usual, I might as well turn it over to you guys, hands down. What do you think of Predator Badlands, if you've seen it for yourself, hands down, So yeah, do you absolutely really enjoyed it? I think it's definitely on par as, of course, the last Predator movie we got beforehand for sure, and think it's actually as great as the original, or do you absolutely hate it and just absolutely not care for it in the slightest, or are you somewhere in between where you think it's just fine for what it is? So yeah, let me know what you thought of this movie down in the comments down below. I would love to know on what you guys think for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and well, I guess it will only be a matter of time before I'll check out the next movie, hands down, because, well, yeah, I guess with what will be going on for me for the rest of November for sure. It's gonna be one incredibly busy one for sure, with you know, plenty of other videos that I hope to get out, and stuff revolving around my family, and of course, not to mention next weekend I've got Kinshoku-Con, which I know is gonna be a really great time for sure. So yeah, but as long as I can fill the gap with, of course, some other new movies that'll be coming out for sure, I think we'll be in good hands for sure. So yeah, but I guess until the next movie I'll actually go see, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack427TV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more, in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyattackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.